Anything that can go wrong will go wrong on your way to your dream life. That is what Jerry Clark is saying in his podcast. And today I'm going to show you how to be ready for whatever life throws at you. What I am talking about here, and the sentence that I said before, everything that can go wrong will go wrong, is from Edward Murphy. Edward Murphy helped by a rocket test. And there a few errors occurred, which were all caused by human. And from there, this really famous Murphy's Law sentence comes from. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. The statement of Murphy's Law is in general not considered to be true. But there are a lot of people who can rely on what he's saying. Now let me help you to show you how Jerry Clark used that law with help from some other books to show something really, really important on your way to your dream life. So in Jerry's story, there are two different persons. Some are cows and some are rhinos. That sounds super random, but let me explain you what it means. So let's first talk about the cows. Cows are passive, they're not really think they can control whatever happens to them in life. They like to complain and talk about negative stuff. They just like the easy and comfortable living. They don't like stress. They just want the rent, the security that the money brings when you get a loan, when you work for other people, you have some holidays, and they're happy with that. They don't want more. They just like the safety and the acceptance they get from the people around them. They're working for someone else's dream, and they're just happy to get everything they need in life. Every day in their life kind of looks the same. They work from Monday to Friday in a job, and then on the weekend they spend all their money they got to go back to work, to make more money, and this on and on and on. And when they're old, they're looking back on their life and they're like, wow, wasn't there probably something more in life than only that? Cows are professional victims of the system. And unfortunately, it is the largest part from the population. Now we jump over to the rhinos. The rhinos are peaceful. They like to talk about ideas and dreams and goals and spread out this really good energy. They have a good mindset. They're working on their mindset. They know how important it is to have a good mindset. They're extremely focused on their goals. They want to get there. They're working towards their goals. They have actually big goals and not just settle for whatever life gets you. They're ready for fun and challenges and like to get out of their comfort zone and experience new things. They don't just sit around and wait for the right time to come. They create the right time. They're actively working towards a goal and not just sitting around and hoping just something will change even though you not really do something. They focus on solutions rather than problems. They talk about positive things, focus on them rather than on the negatives. Jerry believes that everyone is born as a rhino, but then slowly changes into the cow because of society. Because society is telling you you can't achieve much, just do the way that everyone is doing it, that is fine, that is the way, and there's nothing else. Now imagine the following thing. There is a pasture where the cows and the rhinos live in the beginning, where they get born. And then after the pasture, there comes a huge jungle. And we all know, and everyone from there know, that after the jungle, when you go through it, there's going to be paradise. Now you have to think the pasture is where you are right now, probably, or just like where all of the people are. And the paradise is the goal that you want to achieve, probably like financial freedom or building your own business or something like that. Yeah, you know, your dreams are on this side, but you're here. And you know the jungle is challenging and it's dangerous in there. But you know, you have to go through it. You have to get the challenge to get to your dream life. I think everyone grow up with dreams and actually want to achieve them. But then they probably go into the jungle and they realize, wow, okay, yeah, it's kind of hard in here. It's kind of like, you know, people are not really supporting you that much because they want you to stay on the cow side. And after some punches in the face in the jungle, you You rather just go back into the safety from the other cows. And that is what happens with so many people. And that happens exactly also to the author from the podcast, Sherry Clark. He also had this problem that he was in the jungle and he got really, really hard. But what he didn't do is go back. He continued. And I want to tell you now a little bit more about that. So Cherry realized on your way to the tunnel, it will not be easy. Because there are going to be people on the way laying stones in your way. He experienced that on his own and he called them Murphy's Comitee, which comes from Murphy's Law, because everything that can go wrong will go wrong when you're in the jungle. But first start even with the decision to go into the jungle. Because you already know, so 100% there is gonna be the Murphy's Comitee who makes your life miserable in there. But why would you then do it? Why would you go to the jungle? You know, if you're a cow and you live on the pasture, then you're satisfied with where you are. You don't want something bigger. You don't think you can have something bigger. You don't want to make a big effort for your goals. You're just happy to be there, and that's fine. But if you're there and you're a rhino, then you're just on the wrong side. And there you really want to achieve your goals and get through every effort there is to get to paradise. And the rhinos are only around 10% of all of the population. And from that 10%, only around 3% will get to the other side. So when you now enter the jungle, you have to first understand what really the Murphy's Comitee is to be ready and look out for them on your way. Murphy's Comitee is made from 5 people who will try to test you if you really deserve to be in paradise. Murphy's Comitee is of course an imaginary person group, and it will test you for your dreams and goals. Is your why you're doing it, why you go to the jungle, big enough? Can it support you on your way? Can you go through big stuff and like heavy stuff and make an effort for your dream life? Cherry talks about these 5 Murphys, so probably you will not have them, but for sure it is good to look out for them and be ready if they would come. So the first one is mostly obvious and also happened by me like that. Family and friends. You know, if you go to the jungle and your parents or you choose your family and people around you are on the cow side, they don't like that you're doing something dangerous. They don't like that they're not doing it how everyone is doing it. And they will try to bring you back to say, it's like so much safer here in the pasture. Why do you not want to come? Like, would you go to the jungle? There's no reason. I don't, And so many people already, that is enough. So many people fall into that Murphy and they will go back because it's family, And the family will like welcome you again. And they're happy that you're back, and just you're not happy because you're not really doing what you want in life. But it is a really effective one. Important is just keep going. Your family, when you're in paradise, your family will understand why you did it. And they're going to be like, wow, yeah, why didn't I do that? The second Murphy is discouragement. Being in the jungle has a big effort. Like you have to put in a big effort. And a lot of people are already just not really ready to do that. It's too exhausting and they rather just go back where everything is so easy and everything just works. The third Murphy will play with your emotions. With emotions that are probably from your girlfriend or your boyfriend or something bigger. Like your emotion with yourself. You're starting to doubt why you're even here. And why this is happening to you. You thought it would be easy. But what you have to understand that you're already the third Murphy is that you developed so much. You got a thicker skin into this jungle. You're really learning how to survive in there. And the Murphys are slowly realizing it's not that easy to stop you from your dream life. And then there comes the fourth and the fifth Murphy who will try everything to stop you. And that is the moment you will realize that you're so near. The moment that everything that can go wrong will go wrong is the moment you're so close to being in paradise. And when you stop there, the whole journey was for nothing. And you have to understand that every time when you level up your life, you're gonna be faced with some really hard shit into your life. And you have to understand that this is how it works. And as soon as you did that, you know you're gonna be leveled up. You know it's gonna change. And this is what you should go for. You start even to doubt, does the paradise even exist? Or is it just a story that kind of people make up who are there but not really? Now, the Murphy's Comitee is like, wow, like, we tried to stop her going to paradise. We want to get her back to the cows. But she just doesn't want to listen. She's just not stopping. Her dreams are too big. She's unstoppable. And they're like, yeah, the effort is not worth it. We just leave her. And that is what you have to achieve, because as soon as they just leave her, you are in paradise. You can walk to paradise, to you go, to your dream, whatever. But only when you went through all of these stations. Probably it's even more than 5 Murphys. If you're lucky, it's less, but everyone has their problems. Everyone has their stones in the way for the dream life. Because if a dream life would be easy, everyone would have it. And then you did it. You are in paradise. And you drive past the pasture with all of the cows, still doing the same shit that you did, Because the way through the jungle can take up months and years or even decades. And the cows will look at you driving by and will be like, such lucky bastards. And they have no idea how hard you worked. Because the only thing that you see is how unfair it is that you are now on the paradise side. Never thinking that they could actually do that as well. So now we come to things that you have to understand when you want to enter the channel. Achieving your goals and your dreams, it's not easy. But it is definitely worth it when you in the end up in paradise. But that also means a lot of work and effort and time and discipline and believing in yourself in the channel time. That is where you build your mindset. That is where you build your strengths so you'll be able to live in paradise. Cows are thinking there's a fast success. They're like, try something, quickly go into the channel to get 1 million overnight, I don't know. And they soon realize, wow, yeah, that is probably not true, that doesn't work. And then they're like, yeah, it doesn't work at all, we go back, it's done. And then they always stay for there forever. And rhinos understand, it is hard, it takes time, but in the end, it was gonna be 10 million times worth it, the effort that you did in the channel. And the Murphys, they will haunt you, they will be so annoying. But sooner or later, they will leave you alone. A big challenge always comes before a big level up. Just keep that in mind when you're really dying because something doesn't work or I don't know. Remember that it's a test for your next level that you're gonna be in. But until you are in paradise, you have to have a very, very good and strong why. Why are you doing this? What is your goal? Why do you take the effort to be in the channel? Because this will keep you motivated to go through the pain, to go through it. Your why has to be the strongest. You cannot trade success. You have to pay the price for success before you're there. You have to do the work before you get the reward. There is no first reward, then the work. You have to put in the work first to get the new reward. And so many cows are not ready to do that. They just want to have the reward, don't want to put the work in it. And I think then it's just better to pace her, Because a successful person, they develop strengths through going to the channel. They learning how to solve problems. Successful people don't have less problems. They just know how to work with them, how to solve them. They focus on the solution rather on the problem. And these are all stuff that you learn on the way. The channel is a preparation for just knowing how to live in the paradise. Don't ask life to be easier. Ask it to be worth it. You can either pay the price of being successful or pay the price of being a failure. Now in the end, I want to say some things that will help you don't lose your mind being in the jungle. So first of all, what I already talked about, find out your why. Like, why do you want to change your life? You can do a vision board, like putting it somewhere in your room so you can always look at it like, that is the life I want. Yes, hell yeah, that's what I'm working for right now. What I also do is just make a list of things that you went through, things that were hard and you thought like, oh my god, I can never come out of this. It's like literally dead, I'm dying. It is like so bad. And then you look back on the things I wrote down, which didn't work out then, which was a problem. I was like, yeah, I mean, I got out. So why shouldn't I get out of my problems now? You know, I can always find a solution. And the more you have on that list, the more you are like confident saying, wow, yeah, I mean, I actually can do that. I mean, now it probably looks like the world is ending, but it is possible to solve this problem. And it's also so important if something happens to you, something bad happens to you, to just take a step back and reflect on it. You know, you probably know the quote, why is this happening to me? Replace it with, what does it want to teach me? I think life always works out in your favor as long as you focus on your dreams. But if you always feel like, yeah, I'm like, always bad things are happening to me, everything is bad around me, yeah, then everything will be bad around you because your mindset is wrong. But when you focus on the part, like, where can I learn from that mistakes? Because in the end, mistakes are just things that you learn, things that you develop. I believe strongly that everything that happens to me happens for me. Even if I cannot see it right now, it will be in some days or weeks or years, you know? And even if like something is super bad, like you like took a decision or made something or something happened, and there are like two ways how it could have been happen. You never know how the other way would have went. And I always, like, my mindset is just always believe that way would have been worse, and that way that I took, even if I probably didn't want it to in the beginning, was the right one. And I do think facing the Murphys in the end is just, your mindset has to develop, and it's important to be ready for them, to understand that they will be on your way, and there is a way to outrun them and go to paradise.